Sometimes I walk out into the garage, look at my old Volvo, and I think they really don't make them like this anymore. Patrick's garage. Back in the 1960s, a car was more than transportation. It was a piece of mechanical honesty. Steel, glass, rubber, and craftsmanship. Every curve, every bolt, every sound had character. But then something happened. In the 1970s, the world changed. Money changed. Fuel changed. And sadly, cars changed too. Today I want to talk about why 1960s cars, Volvos, Mercedes, Fords, Chevys, were simply better built than anything that came after 1970. And why, if you got one sitting in your shed, it's worth saving because those cars still represent something real. Let's set the stage. In the late 60s, the world still ran on gold-backed money. Solid, predictable, tied to reality. Manufacturers could plan ahead. Engineers could design a car that lasted 30 years and management didn't panic about it. Then came 1971. President Nixon ended the link between the dollar and gold. The old Bretton Woods system collapsed. Suddenly, money was no longer worth what it used to be. Inflation crept in. Costs went wild, and companies had to start thinking short-term. Just a couple of years later, the 1973 oil embargo hit. Gas prices quadrupled almost overnight. Governments pushed new regulations. Car makers scrambled to save weight and fuel. And just like that, the golden age of durable engineering was over. Before 1970, cars were built by engineers, not accountants. They used thicker steel, stronger metals, and overbuilt engines. They designed for repairability, not replacement. Look at a Volvo 140 series or a 68 Mercedes W108. You can feel the quality in your hands. The doors close with that solid clunk that says forever. After 1970, things got lighter, cheaper, thinner, plastic replaced chrome. Simplicity gave way to electronics. And it wasn't progress, it was survival. Car makers weren't trying to build better cars. They were trying to stay in business in a world where money and oil could change overnight. In the 1960s, engineers were proud. They believed in longevity, in making something that would outlive its maker. The Volvo's B18 engine, it wasn't fast, but it was nearly unbreakable. You could run it for 500,000 miles. Rebuild it in your oven garage, and it would keep going. That was the mindset. Every part was serviceable. Every design was logical. Cars had character because they were made by people who loved machines. Restoring a 1960s Volvo or a 66 Mustang isn't just nostalgia. It's rediscovering that lost spirit of honest design. Now, to be fair, the 1970s weren't entirely bad. There were still good cars. Volvo's 240 series, for instance, was sturdy and dependable. But it was built under pressure. Factories faced higher costs. new emissions laws, new safety mandates, and a changing economy. So the cars became more modular, more standardized, and yes, cheaper. They weren't built to last forever anymore. They were built to last long enough. That's when planned obsolescence quietly took over. Cars stopped being heirlooms. They became consumables. Now here's the thing. Cars built before 1970 have something you can't manufacture anymore: authenticity. They were made when design was mechanical, not digital. When a fuel pump was a lever, not a sensor. When you could open the hood and actually see the engine. A 1960s Volvo, for example, isn't just a car, it's a time capsule of pure engineering logic. Every component can be rebuilt, every part was designed to be repaired, not thrown away. That's why I say if you find a pre-1970 car, especially something like an old Volvo 120 140 series or Amazon, restore it. Because cars after 1970, most of them are only good as parts donors. When the world went off gold and into inflation, we also went off the idea of permanence. We started building for speed instead of longevity. Profit replaced pride. But those old machines, they remind us of something important, that quality isn't just a number or spec sheet, it's a value. And once we lost that value, it didn't just change cars. It changed everything. So, if you've got a car from the 1960s, take care of it. Wash it, drive it, listen to it. You're not just maintaining an old vehicle, you're keeping alive a piece of mechanical truth. Those old Volvos, Chevys, and Fords, they were built in an era when a car was expected to earn your trust. That's why I'll always say, the best years of the automobile weren't about horsepower or gadgets. They were about integrity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what your favorite pre-1970 car was. Let's keep the memory of real engineering alive.
I'll catch you in the next one on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Click the subscribe button and notifications bell so that way you can be notified as soon as I upload new videos about car repairing.